My name is Cynthia Umutoniwabo. I'm first born. I would say I'm the oldest at home of 6. I have 2 beautiful daughters, almost a 10-year-old and 5. In terms of my background, how could I say it? I think it's a complex way of saying it. I did architecture 2 years of architecture in Texas, in university. I did not finish that part, but I eventually did software engineering at Moringa School, junior software engineering. And in terms of who I am today, I'm a CEO at Loopa, CEO and co-founder at Loopa, where we harness IoT to transform organic waste into organic fertilizer. I had always wanted to be an architect. I loved drawings, I loved structures, I loved infrastructure. I was that kid that enjoyed math and physics, which is what I did in high school. So I had always wanted to do architecture. But when I went to KIST, because that's where I was sent for university in Kigali, I didn't have an opportunity to actually do that. So I looked forward to other schools. And then I did find a school in Louisiana, that's in Lafayette. And I did not finish that. That was 2009, because I finished high school in 2006. So I first went at KIST to do architecture, but I didn't have that opportunity at that time because there was no architecture school at that time. There was only civil engineering, but it was very competitive to get in. So the other option was electronics and electrical. I did just a year, but I was not satisfied. So I looked for a school in the United States and I went there. So I moved there in 2009. I lived in Texas for 10 years. I moved back just before Corona in 2020, I would say 2019, just before Corona. I moved here with my 2 kids. And I needed a fresh start. I wanted to start something. But at that time, that's when I was diagnosed with cancer. So I had to go through chemo. After chemo, that's when I was like, so what should I get into? I did a bit of software engineering. That's when I went to Moringa for WeCode. It was also a women-led initiative to help women get into coding. That's how I did the software engineering. So the transition from there to the agriculture was from also another program that I joined, which was called Jasiri. So what they do at Jasiri, they put together entrepreneurs to be able to come up with impactful solutions. So it did not start from the agriculture, but it started from the problem that we were trying to solve, which was mainly the waste that we produce, but also the reliance of inorganic fertilizer. Like I said before, I was living in Texas, and I had decided to come back home with my 2 kids. And just a month before I moved back, because I had just given birth to my second daughter, I had crazy pain in my leg. But the doctor was saying it's because you had a C-section, for people that are very familiar with that. So the doctor kept saying it's because you just had the major surgery. So they didn't look further, but the pain kept getting stronger. So I went to the emergency, and that's when they were giving me pain medication, it was not subsidized. So after that, that's when I did further testing, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, to be exact. So during that time, I hesitated to stay there or come back home. Because the diagnosis yes, the diagnosis was done in Texas. Yes. So my family, everyone was a bit skeptical, don't come back, because we were like, people would get treated better over there. But then my heart kept telling me, you have to go home. Because I didn't know if I was going to make it, or, everyone's telling you it's cancer, you're going to die, you were not sure. Yes, death sentence. But for me, the main thing, I had 2 beautiful daughters, especially with a 2-month-old. I was like, let me go back home because I had my parents here. Let me go back home and then we're going to go from there. So luckily, through friends and mutual friends, the funny thing is my doctor that treated me was, we went to the same high school, which was even more comfortable. So I got treated here at Faisal. So I did the 6 months of chemo during Corona. And then after that, I was not in the clear yet, so I kept traveling to India and Kenya. But then I believe it's 2 years ago, that they told me I was in remission. So I'm grateful. I think we always think, I will do something next year, I'll do something, and you think you have more time. So I think it was a test in realizing everything I need to do, I actually need to do it now. I don't have to wait. But also you want to, for me with small kids, I wanted to leave something for them. I want to leave a legacy. I wanted to do something impactful, not just for me or for my kids, but also for the society. So I have always been driven into building an impactful business. So yeah, it really changed the course on how I see time and I value what I do. I think there's that element of knowing that someone you're responsible from, a small or even an adult, you're responsible for someone and they count on you, and you actually, I'll say you're that person that they look up to, not just for anything you're doing, but for every little thing. So I think me being a mother gave me a sense of purpose. I have to do something for someone and they are relying on me. I like to say how I remember the first time I gave birth, because I was not here and my mother was not with me. I called her, I was like, please forgive me for every little thing I've ever done to you, because if this is the type of pain I have to go through and you still treated me amazingly for all the things I was doing to you, I am sorry. So I always relate to that. So it's just a testimony of what motherhood can do. Me and my co-founders, we joined Jasiri. Jasiri Talent Investor. So it's a program that helps you, it basically puts together people that are willing to go into the entrepreneurship journey, and then you're supposed to come up with a solution that are impactful to the society. But you have to start from the issues. So you're not going to start from the end point where you find a solution, but you start from the problem. So we did not just think of the agriculture sector. We had to go through different things. We went to healthcare. We were trying to fix queues, but we saw that we could not do a lot of things into that because none of us were doctors. So it was very hard to implement that. We went through the informal sector. So we really dig deep into the problem to be able to find a solution. So it's a whole holistic journey to be able to get to Loopa, how Loopa came about. So through the program, you're given mentors, you're given, not even just mentors, but you're given even the money to be able to actually go to the market and see and test what you're trying to do. So Loopa was born through the program, through Jasiri. But at first, we had to test different ideas, and that's how we started. So, and that was, we joined the program in, I believe, last year. It was 2023, beginning of 2023, and Loopa was born in July. I like to say how before I applied through Hanga Pitch, I never knew how big of a stage that was. I knew it was a competition that would open doors. So I think one of the things that Hanga Pitchfest did was not only opening doors in terms of client, even being able to access a client, but it gave Loopa a stage to even talk about what we're trying to fix. And we're able to access not even just funding, investors, but even the core people we're trying to help in the first place, which are the small-scale farmers or even farmers in general. It gave us, I would say, an international stage. You're able to create a community of people that could actually help you in terms of advancing or scaling even the product we're trying to bring on the table. So for me, I think being able to build a huge network was one of the best thing that happened to Loopa, because now we're not only on the Rwandan stage, but the international stage, but also we're able to get even more funding, more mentorship, more. So it's a whole rounded, holistic win, I would say. In terms of what we're producing, we're able to produce 10 times more of what we're producing before we won Hanga Pitch. And this is because we're able to acquire machinery that we needed from the funds that we got. And on top of that, in terms of the impact, we're able to hire, we have 7 permanent employees. So, and that's not only that, we've been able to hire women, we've been able to change their lives in terms of they have decent jobs. Not only that, we're able to actually give the end consumer something to use that they can trust of where it comes from. So it's traceable. So we've been able to get great feedback in terms of what we are able to give as a product. So, but mainly I'll categorize into, we're able to scale our business in the production area, but also hire permanent employees and change their livelihood. The sky would not be the limit, to be honest, because we are able to, the way we look at scaling, it's not only vertically, but like horizontally. We are looking at taking some part of the value chain in how we look at, I look at it in terms of we're going to venture into the produce also because we already have the input, but also one of the major issues we had was the logistic part of what we were doing, because we get a lot of input in terms of organic waste, but we were relying on other companies in terms of how they have to deliver. So we are not only looking at scaling, having mini plants around the country, but also acquiring some part of the value chain. As a cancer survivor, there is, once they tell you the diagnosis, you feel like the first thing you think of, it's a death sentence. I think one of the things that really helped me when I was going through that journey, because it's a very painful journey in terms of what it can do to your body, but also your mental health. I think what helped me was not to listen to you're about to die. I surrounded myself with people that had positivity, but also when they're looking at me, they didn't look at someone that's dying. So I still enjoyed life in terms of the little things. So I would say enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment while you're still here, because it's a painful journey for the cancer people that are going through that. There's a community out there that of people that love you no matter what the journey is. So surround yourself with your loved ones. In terms of what I would tell myself, the younger me, I would say your hard work will pay off. Take every opportunity. Learning doesn't stop. You learn I'm still learning. The pressure, we always have pressure of saying, I have to have done this by 25, I have to have done this at 30. But what I can say is, it's not about the age, but taking the opportunity and grabbing full hand. I think that's something I would tell the young people out there. Don't go halfway into things. Do everything capable. Surround yourself with the right people. Because one of the things that I did this year was I've been very intentional about the people, not even just hanging out, because as a young person, you have maybe people you hang out with, but having mentors. Mentorship has changed my life, to be honest, because either specifically having women that have that are mothers, that are into entrepreneurship, that are business leaders. There's so many things they are teaching me in navigating life. So being able to surround yourself with people that have a step ahead of you, I think that can guide you. It's very important.